Hey, what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing today? Welcome back to another episode of God Concept Podcast. Well, I'm your host, Mr. Pagan. You know, I just been researching, doing a lot of research, studying everything that I can, trying to better myself to the best of my ability, trying to do what I can to move forward in life. I had that music playing way too loud. Yeah, but man, you know, all in all, I came up with another one of God's concepts, and these things just come to my mind at times, through research that I'm doing. Um, just sitting still, not thinking about bullshit, and just trying to allow my mind to be free and clear of any distractions, right? So this way I can receive certain messages that I'm supposed to receive. Just like all of us, we all receive messages from that conscious state, from that higher consciousness, from the voices that you hear in your subconscious, and it's like, we make mistakes in life, and God tries to help us correct those mistakes or get back on path to what it is we're supposed to do. You know what I mean? This world isn't easy to live in, man. This world isn't easy to live in at all. And I think enough people don't listen to the messages that they're receiving from the Creator. Internal messages. You know what I mean? I'm not even talking about the external messages. The external messages is people in your life, right? Because God messages you and talks to you through your atmosphere, through the things around you. Nowadays we so wired in and intact. Our devices give us messages and things like that. But what messages are you picking up on? Are you picking up on the positive or the negative messages that you're receiving? There's messages that you're going to get from demonic forces that's trying to pull you down in your life. But you got to look for that silver lining, the messages from God in your everyday life. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about, and what you're going to gravitate to. Because, yes, we have free will and we fuck up. But everybody innately wants to do good in their life, wants to progress in their life, wants to be the best version of who they could be in their life. You know what I mean? The best version of who they could become, right? You're going to have bumps in the roads. You're going to have stumbling stones. You're going to have people that influence you to do the wrong thing. You're going to have things in your own mind that may be telling you to do the wrong thing. I'm glad that the voices that I hear in my mind are ones that want me to do better, that wants me to do good. I hear voices in my mind that sometimes could bring me to tears, and it's, that right there shows me that we're connected higher to something higher. You know what I mean? And it's like, you have to listen, or you're going to be stubborn and not listen and continue to let your life just be controlled by demonic forces at the end of the day. Demons live around you. Demons can consume you. Demons can control you through substance, through your own actions, through the way you think, through your body, the ailments that you might be feeling in your body. Only way to combat that is with positivity, doing the right thing. It's the only way to combat demonic forces that's coming at you in any type of way. And they could be coming at you through people. They don't have to just attack your physical body. You could become in a line or in a relationship with somebody who's dealing with demons in their life. And through them, you're going to get attacked by demons, because this person that you're in contact with, this place that you frequently go to or stay around, is controlled by demonic forces. And at that point, you got to realize You got to either remove yourself from that person, you got to remove yourself from that place, or you have to go somewhere where you can find peace. It doesn't matter where that's at. You know what I mean? It matters as long as it's a place that brings you peace, as long as it's a place that helps you achieve the mental focus that you need to see exactly what it is you're supposed to do with your life. You know, we make mistakes in this life. And God sends you messages and people to try to put you back on track, to try to help you out, to help repair the damage that's been done in your life by you or by somebody else. Because we're all damaged, we're all tarnished, we all go through things. You know, people like to call it trials and tribulations, right? It's different messed up situations that you come and encounter with, right? And you got to work your way through that. But you have to allow yourself to work through that. You can't allow yourself to get into a state of depression, a state of self-hate, a state of jealousy, a state of enviness, a state of just not giving a fuck anymore. You know what I mean? A state of not caring. Some people go down that rabbit hole to the point where they just want to kill themselves. And it's important that you don't let another person take you to that state. But once in a while, you may meet a person that'll help pull you out of that state of mind. That may help you gain that focus, that clarity, that, you know what I mean? That spiritual drive, that physical drive, that mental drive, that fuel that you need to see it through. But if you're too far down that rabbit hole, it's going to take a lot for them to pull you out. It's going to take a lot for them to try to convince you that there is light at the end of that tunnel. Some people just can't see the light or see a way through or try to dim any light that they see. And that's the worst. You got to be careful of those people because you might be there to bless another person's life who's going through something. But on the other side of that coin, is them stealing your positive energy. It's them dragging you down and holding you back. You have to be careful. You can't let them take control. I'm speaking from personal experience. I've been through it, man. You know, I've been around people, you know, that'll just try to drain all your positivity and give you nothing but negativity back. And it's not even hidden. It's not even, you can clearly see that a person is dealing with demons in their everyday life. Right? And I've spoken to people and I tried to pull them out of that. You know what I mean? On several occasions with many different people, you try to pull them out of that way of thinking, that way of living. Right? So they can get to return to something greater and become the better version of themselves, the best version of themselves. But sometimes that demon just got a hold on them too strong to the point where you can't pull them out of that. You know? They have to want to recover from that. And they can show signs and exhibit signs that they don't want to live a negative life, that they don't want negative energy influencing their life. Pardon me. Just had to pop up. But that they don't want these things in their life. But yet and still they still persist. It's because they're still continuing the same actions and expecting a different result. If you're going to continue doing the same exact things that you was doing yesterday, expecting a different result today, but that's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing, repeating the same thing, expecting a different outcome. That is the definition of insanity. You know, I had to pull myself out of many situations. I had to pull myself out of a whole state. Had to separate myself from people. Had to separate myself from different things and abstain and try to fast and really get a hold on who I am. and who I'm meant to be and what I'm capable of. This life is a test on so many levels, and it's so intricate that at times we can lose sight of that, of what's important, of maintaining a good relationship with your creator, with yourself, knowing thyself, knowing what you're capable of. The strongest of us, the strongest of us are tested the hardest. You know, the strongest of us are tested the hardest. And you got to persevere. You got to make it through. You know, I'm just spitballing. I did a lot of research these past few days, even though I've been interrupted with my research, with trying to get things done and handled in my personal life on so many different levels. It's been so many fucking distractions. But I will not succumb to these distractions. I will not. I gotta keep pushing forward and striving for what I have to do. I have thoughts in my subconscious. I hear the murmurs of words spoken to me through my subconscious. And they tell me that I have to keep moving forward, that I have to continue to do what I feel as if I should do with my life. I have to continue. Yeah, I may be stuck at a mediocre job. You know, I may be stuck in a fucked up living situation. I may be stuck in a lot of areas. But the one thing that I control out of all of that is my demeanor and how I carry myself through it. And how I'm going to persevere through anything. You know, through all of the tests and the hardships that I go through. You know, I have to persevere. Not just for me, for my children. I get compliments on a lot of ways on the person I am and my personality and just how I carry myself. But people don't see what I'm really going through on a day-to-day basis in my life. You know? I'm sure many of them would care if they got to know me and really understood what I've been going through. But they just see who I present. You know, and I always try to present the best version of myself. You know, I don't ever want to present a lower state of me. You know what I mean? I don't ever want to be, you know, in that, you know. I get told as long as I continue to pursue my passions and the things that I'm passionate in doing, the things that I'm passionate about doing in life, that I'll make it through this, you know. I was listening to this song at the gym earlier, man. On this baby stride in my life, watch me get it right, watch me win again and again, watch me get it again, watch me hold it down, watch me get the pound, watch me break it down. It's one of my bangers. It's one of my bangers, man. Every time we roll through the time for this, innocent minds losing their shit to this common sense. Honor this. Listen, man. It's deep. It's deep. Break it down. Listen, man. Anytime I made a mistake or went through something in my personal life, in my everyday life, I was always able to make it through. You know what I mean? And anytime I made a mistake, I always felt God was pulling me through that situation to make it to a better situation. You know, I always felt that. God sent me people in my life to hinder me. I'm not saying God, right? But I've been sent people in my life that I know and felt I was there to help, right? And at the same time, I felt as if they were there to hinder me. But I felt like I had to pull them out, because if I was able to help them through whatever they're going through and help them maintain some type of normalcy, some type of positivity in their life, that ultimately they would be one of my greatest allies and they will help me out. But sometimes a gift can be a curse, and a curse could be a gift. It's two sides of a coin every time. You know, you could be there to help, they could be there to hurt. You're trying to help them while they're constantly trying to hurt you. They could be helping you while they're hurting you. A person could be helping you while they're hurting you. You could be hurting somebody while you're trying to help them. I got a shade. But yeah, it's so fucking deep. It's so fucking metaphorical, right? And if you really pay attention to the way we live on an everyday basis, you can see the spirituality, the spiritual aspect of life, and how we live on a daily basis. Them three realms culminate into the reality that you live in at this moment, today, in real time. That mental, that spiritual, that physical, all culminates into the reality that you're living right now. I watch documentaries on how people in the government, I should say, are controlled by demonic forces. How they groom them throughout their life. Right? How to push away one of them demons. Study how those demons can harm you for trying to help the person that's being possessed by this demon. It's deep. You can be hurt by trying to help somebody get away from demon possession. Demons can possess you in many ways. Through many ways. Through your own ego, your own narcissism, your own selfishness, your addictions to porn, to sex, to drugs, to alcohol, to whatever it is. Demons can be introduced into your life through your parents, through somebody else's parents. Curses can be placed on you by these people, by demons and things like that. It's very real. Person will try to show you love and at the same time hate you, right? But hurt you with the way that they're trying to love you. And introduce problems into your life that you never had before. Or ones that you had before that you didn't even realize that you had. It's a deep concept, you know. I'm looking for God concept. I'm looking for the God's concept, that silver lining in life, you know, to make it through all of this battle, this place that we're going through. You know what I mean? It's a deep thing. I watched a documentary the other day. It's a contract. I forget what the contract is called, but it's one that you can make with your mind. It's a contract that you can make with your mind. And it's just so you could further develop your mental state and understanding that you have multiple voices in your mind. Some people look at it as having multiple personalities. But you have decisions. It's like when you're sitting there and like for me, one is when I'm about to do something it seems simple, but it's wrong. Like throw a piece of trash on the ground. You know, when I'm just walking, you know, I might think about balling up this, you know, bag of chip wrapper or whatever I was eating and throw it on the ground. And then something in my mind say, don't do that. That's not right. Find the trash can and hold it and throw it away in the proper manner. And then you get this voice that just don't give a fuck. Like, hey, well, fuck it. You know what I mean? But it's like, all of that matters. All of that matters. It's the small things that matters. The small things that we do adds up to bigger, you know what I mean? Adds up into bigger personas of who you are. You know what I mean? Some people take the characteristics or adapt a personality that really isn't them. And next thing you know, they are that person that they portray themselves to be. But they're not really that person. You know, they was born one way and had a positive, like persona of who they were, how they carried themselves and things like that. And all of a sudden, you know, years go by, they've been through so many things. They've been groomed to become to have a negative persona. And negativity becomes them. You know what I mean? They become negative. You know? And they might start to see their life start doing well in life because of the negative persona or the personality or the characteristics that they've taken on. But at what cost? What cost? What's the cost of you living that lifestyle that you've been trying to achieve for a long time if you have to do it in a negative way? At what cost is it costing us to try to help somebody who's living with depression, doubt, jealousy, enviness, addiction? What is it costing us? It's precious time, man. It's precious time. Plus, it could cost you who you are. It could cause you to become negative yourself. Adapt that same negativity. You know? Especially when you got to fight fire with fire. If a person is always being negative to you, and I felt myself in this situation a lot of times, where a person would be being negative to me. They would present negativity to me, whether it's through a phone call, in person, through a text message, whatever. And they would just give me so much negativity to the point where I couldn't even help myself but to resort to negativity with them. And that's what the demon tried to do. The demon that's possessing somebody else will try to get you to resort back to negativity. Thinking to resort to negativity dealing with this person. And that makes him happy. How? How is me being negative towards you making you want me more? Or making you... It's because it's a deep thing. It's a deep thing. I'm going to say it like this. When you're trying to get your life right, if somebody's trying to feed you negativity, then you have to push that person away. If you're trying to get your life right and you're just in a negative space, find somewhere else to go where you can find peace and positivity and maintain who you are. Because there's a lot of us out here trying to fight the good fight, trying to live righteously. You know, I'm not saying that we pray all day and things of that nature. You know what I mean? A lot of us do. A lot of us look for the positive messages anywhere we can see them, anywhere we can find them. We're searching for that positivity. I'm one of them. I'm always searching for positivity. You know? But if you find yourself around a person or in a place, in a situation that's not bringing you any peace, it is important for you to get away from that situation or that person or that place so that you can ultimately obtain the peace that you need in your life. Because a lot of places, a lot of things, they just won't work out right. A lot of situations won't work out right. A lot of people just don't work out right. And it's because of that demonic force that's in this world. You know, that's placed here. You know, they talked about on one of the documents that I was looking at doing my research. They talked about how Jesus Christ, or I know that Jesus Christ. I like to say that, me personally, I don't believe that Jesus and the Creator are the same entity, because even Jesus himself in the Bible, right now we speaking biblical, told you that he wasn't God. Told you that our Father who art thou in heaven, has the ultimate control. Some people even believe that Jesus himself was a demon. Well, this priest that was on the documentary that I was watching, he taught, or his belief was that Jesus has control over these demons. That if you pray to Jesus or you pray to God, the Creator, however you view it, right? Because I got to be open-minded. I got to try to, but however you view it, they control these demons. They control the demons. They can control the demons. Some people have these demons, and it's we have free will. You can personally invite a demon into your life, and God will let them know what exactly they could do or affect in your life. God will let them know, hey, you could affect this in their life, but you can't affect that, and the demon won't be able to control that, right? But a demon will control you on some aspect, or try to get you to be the lesser version of yourself, try to guide you or groom you towards negativity. But God always let them know, hey, you can't do this, you can't do this. It's restrictions on what a demon can do in your life, right? But ultimately, it's up to you. It's up to you to cast out that demon. Whatever it is that introduced or brought that demon into your life, it's up to you to get that demon away from you, with the help of Jesus Christ, or or the Creator, however you view it, right? But it's up to you to get the demons out of your life. It's up to you to listen to the people in your life trying to influence you to do better with your life. It's up to you. We make mistakes. Sometimes you might attract the demon because you have a certain personality characteristic, and the demon know, hey, I could get this person to do this and do that. So now you have this demon on you. But it's ultimately up to you to get that demon away. And on top of that, God, the Creator, or Jesus, can help you get that demon off you, right? Can help you get that demon off you. Could cast that demon out of your life, But you have to allow it to happen. You have to allow it to happen. I'm sorry, I'm texting right now. You have to allow, or you have to just have that knowledge, man, to get that demon out of your life. You do. You do. It's hard at times. It's very hard. It's a struggle. God will send you all types of messages, and if you don't heed those messages, then you're heading down a path of destruction, basically. Heading down a path that's going to lead you to death, illness, harm, whatever the case may be. Man, I'm so blessed to even be here right now, man. I'm really blessed to be here. You know what I mean? And blessed to be able to have this, the mind to even put it all together like this. And I like to thank God, knowing that I'm able to pull myself through. I like to thank the Creator, for letting me know that I can pull myself out of situations. But I have to get things done that I have to get done in order to make my life better, my children's life better, the people around me lives better. I have to, you know. Thank y'all for joining me in this episode of God Concept Podcast. My name is Mark Pagan, and I'm gonna come back at y'all with another episode. Thank you for listening. I'm trying to get the subscribers and everything up so I can start monetizing these videos and whatnot. So please hit the like, share, subscribe, all of that. Check out social media, you know, and stay tuned for more. Stay blessed and stay in tune, man. Stay in tune. Stay in tune with not just me, but stay in tune with the silver lining. Try to always see the messages in the environment around you and people around you. If somebody's telling you that you're doing something wrong, and if everybody's saying it, more than likely it's true. You know, more than likely it's true. If everybody's telling you that you messing up somewhere, take that as a message and apply that to your life. Take a look in the mirror. You know what I mean? Don't be misled. Don't let anybody misjudge you. Don't let a person put negative thoughts about yourself into your head. Because a lot of people that's dealing with demons, they'll try to make it seem like you're the demon. A lot of people that's dealing with demons in their life, they'll try to make it seem like you're the demon, that you have the problem. When in all actuality, it's them. It's them that's having the problem. You know? And a weak person, they're going to fall for it every time. A weak person, they're going to entertain it all the time. Do not entertain negativity. Don't even entertain it. Just try to do your best to get away from that person if you can, or get away from that situation if you can. And just maintain your peace. And on that note, I'm Mr. Pagan, and this has been another episode of God Concept Podcast. Peace.